I think nobody would want to see or could envisage in the current circumstances, set of circumstances such as in 2003 when a large invasion force, American-led, went into Iraq. But I think what is more likely now is that forces that we can support, like the Kurdish Peshmerga, clearly need to be supported. They clearly need to be properly armed. And if we're going to give them the kind of modern weapons that they need to defeat Islamic State fighters, then we need to give them training as well. There's an issue whether we train them out of country or whether we train and advise them in country. If we decide to do the latter, then inevitably that'll take a number of British servicemen into northern Iraq, into the Kurdish Peshmerga area, in order to be able to support those people in their fight against the Islamic extremists. Well, clearly they've shown by their actions over the last couple of months in Syria and northern Iraq that they want to establish their so-called caliphate. Actually, that's not new. People have been talking about that for the last 5, almost 10 years, quite recently after 9/11. But what they've done in the last few days is start to hold ground. Now, normally an insurgency is all about hearts and minds, it's all about people. But what we've seen television pictures in the last few days of a sort of front line developing between the Peshmerga and the Islamic State fighters. If they're trying to hold ground, they're almost beginning to make themselves vulnerable, and therefore they can be attacked and they can be defeated. But they are a huge threat. We've seen this awful murder of the journalist Mr. Foley, and this is going to continue. They've got no rule book at all. They are beyond awful, and they've got to be confronted. Otherwise, they were going to continue to expand their influence and they will expand their territory. So they've got to be confronted. They've got to be confronted with modern weapons, and we've got to know who we can support. And currently, it looks as if we can support the Kurdish Peshmerga, and we should do so.